Welcome into the Warzone Sports Network. I am your host, Tony Tucker. We have a mock draft extravaganza. I don't even have the vernacular to describe about what is going to be taking place over the next hour plus. And we could not be more excited for you to join us. I believe Mike is going to hit us with that super stanky intro.
With the first pick.
Yes, sir. Welcome in. Mike and Joe have spent tireless amounts of time and hours and dedication to bring you a super fantastic mock draft. And me and Brian are just going to be bringing some silliness, some nonsense. Well, Brian's going to be a bit more professional and down to business than I am. I'm going to turn things over to Joe Morley so he can give you all the details that you need to know about what's happening.
What's going on, everybody? This mock draft is huge. It's huge. Let me tell you, like Tony just said, we've been working hard on it. A lot of work, a lot of moving parts, 32 different people from all over the world, all over the industry, big time names, small startups, from on TV personalities to writers to actors to movie producers to podcasters. This show is going to be lit. Let me tell you, this idea came to me as a big wrestling fan. I'm a big wrestling fan. I used to watch the Royal Rumble, right? And you always had that feeling, that gut feeling. You never know who is going to come out. You're like, they're counting down from 10 to 1. And you're like, oh my God, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And when they introduce the next wrestler, the fans go crazy, right? That's how it is. No one knows. Brian, Tony, nobody knows who's coming out. I know who's coming out. Nobody else does. So it's just like the Royal Rumble. Even if you knew who was involved, you didn't know where they were coming, right? So here it is. Brian, and like I said, Brian and Tony, you guys don't know anything. You guys don't know who is coming out today, right? So
I don't.
Let me tell you.
I can't wait.
You guys know. I'm the only one that knows. So go ahead. You guys can call me the Vince McMahon of mock drafts, right? There's 32 different people, 32 picks from all parts of the world. I can't even say they're all from the United States because guess what? They're not. They're not. You could tell that I am pumped up and ready to go for this.
Hey, I'm along for the ride as well. I can't wait to see who shows up and makes these draft picks. I hope they're great ones, but if they're not, be ready. I'm coming for them.
I love it. Bolster calling him out for the roast. They're getting toasted, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this Titans fan. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not exactly sure what the process is going to be about when we're going to get there, but I too, I'm a little hesitant as to who's making the picks. Are these going to be fans of teams? What if they just come with garbage?
Hey, you pick a USC player, you're going to get a good rating from me. PFF may not like it. I'm going to like it.
Let me tell you, some of them aren't fans of teams. Some of them even had a pick for teams that they don't like. We have a Giants fan picking for the Cowboys. Let me tell you that. Whoa, it's going to be crazy. But first, let me say one thing, guys. I got to bring this up, and this is a great idea. We're doing this for a good thing going out there. It's called the PACE League, Fantasy Football with a Cause. Donations can be made at www.spot.fund/TTPBRA. Any donations over $100, make sure your name is attached to it, and you will be entered to win a pair of Jordan 1s. That league includes Jay the Plug, Justin from Clock Management, Bogart Scott Free from the GM Network, Raiders tight end Darren Waller, former NFL head coach Hugh Jackson, NFL Live's Marcus Grant and Michael F. Florio, rapper Young Cash, and fantasy football guy Smitty. So all these guys are playing for great foundations like the Austin Eckler Foundation, the Green Beret Foundation, Darren Waller Foundation, Hugh Jackson Foundation, the Higher Ground Foundation, American Cancer Society, and the Phoenix Children's Hospital.
What a great cause. And I appreciate all those guys. Definitely, you've got to go check that league out, but obviously the cause as well.
Yes.
So
go ahead, Joe.
Whew, I'm just excited. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see some faces, see you guys react to some of these guys. Woo!
Come on, bring it on. Bring it on, Joe.
I'm Ian Rappaport from NFL Network. As I get ready to head to Cleveland in a couple days, I wanted to get this in first. The first selection of the Warzone mock draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars take Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. Of course they do. Easily the top-rated quarterback in this draft, top-rated prospect, regardless of position. This is such a simple choice for Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars, so much so they've already started going over the playbook with him as if he's a member of this team. So yeah, they're taking him number 1. Bye.
Coming out the gates firing with Ian Rappaport. Okay, Brian, let's go.
I got to go ahead and give the man some props. What a great pick. Trevor Lawrence. I was actually just listening to some more and doing some more research on Trevor Lawrence just today. And a lot of people don't know he went to Cartersville High School in Georgia and earned the starting job as a freshman. And he didn't just do that over just any Joe Schmo. He did that over a D1 athlete that ended up changing positions and is a starting tight end for the Alabama Crimson Tide, who will actually be drafted as well. So that's pretty insane that he not only, took a senior's job, but a 4-star athlete that's playing at Alabama, that kind of guy. That's just who Trevor Lawrence is. He's calm, cool, and collected at all times. And, some of the comps are getting out of hand. They're like Peyton Manning, but athletic. I'm not going that far, but I definitely think he's everything that you could possibly want in your franchise quarterback.
I love that little behind the scenes nugget about Trevor Lawrence. I had no idea about that. Here's where I'm getting a little frustrated. I got people nitpicking, experts, analysts, whatever, coming on and being like, well, Trevor Lawrence did miss a couple of throws or what. He missed a couple of throws. What are you talking about here? Like, it's a lot. And a lot of the times I see him, I'm like, you're hating on Lawrence because of the locks, right? You can always find a reason for why they hate on him or whatever. And like, if we were standing next to each other, I'd probably hate him too. 6'4", golden, panhandle goddess, wherever he's going to be, taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to amazing heights. I love this pick. And it should be the number 1 pick. Nobody should be doing anything crazy and being like, well, Zach Wilson, I'm kind of leaning that way. Stop.
No, that's right. Tony, the 2 locks of this draft are going to be, 1, that Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 pick, and 2, that Trevor Lawrence is going to have the first endorsement deal. And it's going to be with a shampoo company. I don't know if it's going to be Head and Shoulders, but that's a lock. He is going to sign that endorsement deal probably before he signs his real contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, and I don't have this on any good authority, but Pantene Pro V, if you're listening, you guys need to step up your game. What happened to all those commercials that I was being beaten over the head with for all those years? You guys need to step it up. And Head and Shoulders, they moved to Sofia Vergara. Like, they're already moving in a different direction. So somebody else needs it. Vidal Sassoon, Paul Mitchell, come on.
Hey, let me hop in, Tony.
Yes.
You guys are missing the point. Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, covering the NFL draft next week. On his way to Cleveland. The man's phone never stops ringing or buzzing, and he is the one everybody in this football world is turned up to see. They go to him for the number 1, and he breaks it all. He breaks the number 1 pick here on the Warzone Sports Network draft. Come on, Ian Rappaport. And they're going crazy in the comment section. How are we gonna do this? Guys, I told you, I promised you people. I promised we were gonna have a great show. We knocked it off with Ian Rappaport. Let's go.
And Joe, I was about to get to that. Okay. I'm glad that you've refocused where my attention should be, because we need no more analysis or nonsense about Trevor Lawrence. It's all over the place, right? But Ian Rappaport, Joe, I should have told you how to manage expectations. This is how I've gotten through life, bud. You got to go slow, and then we build to that. I'm kind of curious about the people in the comments. Like, we gotta go up.
Oh, trust me. Just wait.
This is a RC production.
What's going on? Warzone Sports Network. This is the one and only Alex Robson, host of the Robson Sportscast, and I have the privilege of having the second overall pick held by my New York Jets. And with that second overall pick, I believe my Jets take quarterback Zach Wilson out of BYU. He is a perfect scheme fit for the Mike LaFleur offense. He will be the centerpiece of the new franchise led by Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. I believe the New York Jets have made the right decision trading away that California bum that Brian Bolster has a giant love affair with in Sam Darnold. And now they will go for the new face of the franchise in Zach Wilson.
Shots fired at one of our own by Robson here. If you didn't know, the president of the Sam Darnold Hater Club right there. Brian, I need you to respond to Robson.
My gosh, man. I don't want to be petty. Joe Skirdo, he's a good friend. He's a Jets fan. But all this talk, all this Sam Darnold slander just has me hoping that Zach Wilson is a total bust. But I got to say, hey, that highlight reel right there, that's pretty sweet. Zach Wilson jumps over a dude that's standing straight up, then hits the defensive lineman, somehow stays on his feet. That was pretty cool.
Well, because you can't touch quarterbacks. And I was thinking about this. I'm glad you led me into this. Why don't we get to see lowlights? Like, why don't we get to see, I want 5 great plays. Everybody looks good in their highlights, right? I could go throw a football because I got a rope. If anybody doesn't believe me, I'll put it on the internet. I could go throw some passes right now, have you guys cut it together, put some dope beats behind it, and you'd be like, I don't know, 5th, 6th round? Like, he could be a practice squad guy. Highlights are so deceiving.
Tuning in for lowlights is like tuning into the Warzone Sport Network for Mike on the Mike Sports. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But what we did see is we saw Alex Robson from the Robson Sportscast. Find him on Instagram and all of your listening podcast apps out there, you guys. Putting on a great show.
Yes, and I believe that Robson is going to need some hugs. He's going to need some attention and some love, because if you think that Zach Wilson is coming there to save your franchise, I heard he was reaching out to former Jet quarterbacks, right? He was like, hey, how is it in the big city? How'd you fare? It's like, well, not good, because they haven't had a good quarterback since Chad Pennington. Who are you reaching out to? Joe Namath? Like
The
Joe
Sanchez. There you go. The Sanchez, man. Put some respect on his name. Back-to-back AFC championships. AFC championship games. I guess you don't get the championship if you lose. But
yeah, runner-up.
I kind of like Tony's idea. Hey, we need to start just filtering that in. We don't like the pick that's coming up. I'm just going to say Trey Lance because he's a name. He's a quarterback. We pull him up, and it's just like interceptions.
Yes, but even if it's not, what I'm saying is I want to see somebody at their worst and their best, right? Like if I was when I was dating my wife, right? This might be too far. I'm going to go with it anyways. Like at some point, I wanted to see her not all dolled up and not in makeup, right? Because I want to know what I'm getting into. You got to see both sides. You got to see with everything and without everything. And I did clean that one up because my wife does sometimes check these things out, and I am not that big of a fool that I would say something horrible about my wife live here.
Davis with the number 3 pick. Somebody.
What is up? It's Matt Okada from Ball Blast Football, and I am making the selection for the 49ers. At 3rd overall, San Francisco will select quarterback Justin Fields out of Ohio State. Oh, please let this happen. Listen, we need a quarterback. We need a dynamic quarterback. We were one dynamic quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl. The answer to that is not Mac Jones. The answer to that is the second best quarterback in this class and someone who is in a tier with Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion, and that is Justin Fields, most accurate passer in this class, one of the best arms we've seen in recent years, extremely dynamic, very, very good leader. He's going to bring everything the 49ers need to take this team with all the talent that it has to the next level, which is a Super Bowl victory. So you're welcome, San Francisco.
Matt Okada, this guy brought it on Welcome to the War Zone last Friday. Make sure you go back and check that out. There was a lot of really good stuff in there. He talks about being a Patriots fan. I know he did the pick here. Matt has been on Twitter clamoring for Justin Fields, for Belichick to sell the farm and bring the Ohio State kid, the Georgia kid, to the Patriots. I really believe this should be the pick, and I like this pick. Brian, what say you?
You know, I like the pick. I like exactly what he said in terms of taking a swing for the fences. You moved up. You gave up a lot of draft capital. You're on the precipice of potentially a Super Bowl berth. Don't go safe. I like it, but I hate to rain on the parade. I really think the pick's going to be Mac Jones. And to be quite honest with you, I know Joe's really high on Justin Fields, but I'm not sure the league is. I actually think Justin Fields is going to be the 5th quarterback taken in this draft.
I really don't understand that. I do not get it. And everybody's always like, oh, he's high on this, high on that. I think that somebody in San Francisco could be high on something else if Mac Jones is the selection, right? Because to me, it just feels like the safe play. I fully understand that he may be coaching for his job, right? And you don't want any project and you don't want anybody that could ruin that for you, because Justin Fields is going to get many chances, right? We've seen Jamarcus Russell got many chances. There's been Jameis Winston is on a second chance. Kyle Shanahan doesn't know where or when that second chance could be. So it's a lot more delicate. He needs to win now, and Mac Jones just feels like the safer opportunity for the win now.
And that's Matt Okada, you guys. Matt Okada from the Ball Blast football podcast. You guys know him. NFL Network, NFL Fantasy Live. He knows this guy is Mr. Football 24/7. He is like a walking encyclopedia and everything about football. You guys have to check out the Welcome to the Warzone episode that we had with him. Find him on Twitter. Find him on Instagram and get to know this guy, because like Tony just said, he is a big Patriot fan. But he finally came over to my side and he said Justin Fields is the best quarterback in this draft. And I know all this stuff is coming out about him, but it's all right. It's okay. We're starting out big. What do you guys think of the draft so far?
It's been incredible. Yeah. We have massive names, except Robson. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that is fair. He took shots at you, then you can fire back.
You could go right back at him. I think the Falcons are...
What's up, everybody? This is Patrick Claybon, NFL Network, and I am proud to announce that with the 4th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
And this guy is a matchup nightmare.
I feel like you guys must have gotten some sort of like secret file on these people, and you were like, hey, we're going to need a favor, and this could all go away tomorrow. Like, how did you – come on. I reach out to people all the time, and they're like, huh? What's that? You're not related to Chris Tucker? See ya.
I'm a very big man. If I talk to you, I kind of look down to you, and I go, hey, Tony, I need a favor. Hey, okay, whatever you want, sir, whatever you want. No, these guys are great people out here, and trust me, it's just a lot of luck, a lot of work, a lot of luck. But luckily, a lot of these guys came through. Whoo! I said luck a lot of times right there. But that's how excited I am, because you don't know, like Tony, you know how hard it was to put this together and to get guys like these guys to make these picks for us and to come together and do great picks. Because Kyle Pitts is not what you would think. A lot of Atlanta Falcons want him, but is that the right pick there? It's kind of a dicey pick for him to make.
No, this is the pick. You got Matt Ryan. There's no need to throw this guy away. Like, yes, you could take a quarterback, but why not wait until the second round and grab a guy like Kellen Mond and let him be your project for 2 years? If you're going to spend 2 years working on a guy, why not have a stud for the next 2 years in Kyle Pitts while you're working on whoever the next person is, or Kyle Trask, or one of these guys that are good and capable? I'm talking about them like they're yesterday's leftovers. You know, Mills from Stanford. Go ahead, Bolster.
Hey, I'm with you. I think Kyle Pitts is the choice here. He's a dynamic playmaker to bring into that offense, which is already dynamic. They're continuing to build on a strength, which I think is really kind of their only choice. You bring in an offensive coordinator to be your head coach. He has spoken pretty freely about wanting to work with Matt Ryan. They've got him under contract for at least 2 more years, and that cap situation doesn't really make much sense to draft a quarterback here, especially when we're talking about the 4th best quarterback, or at least how we see them now. So I think Kyle Pitts is definitely choice. And I just got to say, man, like NFL Network is in the house tonight.
Yes, sir. I love it. Your co-host, Joe Skirto, over here in the chat brings up something. He said, unless they trade back. I think that is something that they probably will do and load up even more because they need offensive line and defensive help too and stuff like that. So, yes, they could skip on Kyle Pitts, but that's not any fun. That's not
so
any fun.
In case you guys didn't know who that was, that's Patrick Claybon of the NFL Network. You see him behind the update desk around the NFL and much more over there, making a great pick. And I told you guys, we're going to have some names on here. And I told you we're going to be from big names to small names to writers. And you guys probably didn't believe me. And now you're here. Now you're seeing it. Now Tony and Brian are seeing it live on YouTube. You guys, here we go. Are you guys ready for pick number 5?
Yeah.
Tune in. This is where it's at. The Fantasy Football Plug Podcast. You know that we got it popping. Oh, yeah, that's apparent. Got a shout out to my homie, one and only.
Well, thank you. Does this look like a venti? Venti means 20. Does this look like it's 20 ounces? At least it's full. Thanks. Go ahead and fix that. Okay, thank you very much. Amateur. Oh, hey. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jay the Plug from the Fantasy Football Plug Podcast, plugged in with Jay in the Pace League Fantasy Football League for charity. I'm here to announce the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Cincinnati Bengals select Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver, LSU. Yeah, Ja'Marr Chase is a pretty big beast. 84 receptions, 1,780 yards, 20 touchdowns from Joe Burrow in 2019. I think he's going to be pretty happy to have him back. What say you, gentlemen?
I'm really good with this reunion happening, right? Like if this were to get back together, I do think that they need to protect the guy that was almost separated from one of his appendages. So I would love this reunion, but if you have a guy that's about to, wishbone again in year 2, get him an offensive lineman. What do you say?
I like it. I mean, honestly, they have more problems on the interior of their offensive line as opposed to the tackles. Sewell wouldn't be a bad pick at all, but I think people are forgetting a little bit that Justin Jefferson and Ja'Marr Chase were teammates. They played on the same LSU team at the same time, and Chase was the dog. He was the guy on that team. He was the clear-cut number 1 at just 19 years old. So I definitely like the pick, and supposedly Joe Burrow has been, kind of leaning on that Bengals front office to make this pick. So, hey, I'm all for receivers, man.
Yeah, it's in a passing league. You can never have too many weapons, right? If you can have T. Higgins and Chase on the field at the same time, like let's go ahead and get it. I want to shout out Jay the Plug. I know you had the other information up on there. The league he's putting together for charity, the Pace League. Go and check it out. Today he put up a video about how he's raffling off a really cool prize. Don't want to ruin it. Check it out on his IG. On Twitter and stuff like that. Big shout out to Jay the Plug, doing something really great, something to aspire to.
Jay the Plug, personal friend of mine right there, you guys. Jay the Plug, great dude. Fantasy Football Plug Podcast. You can find him on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere that you want to find him. I think he's on Twitter as well, and he was a guest on Welcome to the War Zone as well. Jay the Plug with the Pace League. We have the information up right there. If you guys want to donate, what was up on the screen, it just went away. I'll put it back up. So there you go. Donate here. Like I said, Pace League, a lot of great names out there, guys. This is where you want to help out, and it's fantasy football for a great cause. Help Jay and the rest of these guys from the Pace League.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whew. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. As I've said many times in other things, trying to multitask, trying to interact with people on Twitter and get things going. I think my focus needs to be here. And Mike, if you catch me slipping again,
This is Eric Moody from The Athletic with the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. The Miami Dolphins select Alabama wide receiver Jalen Waddle. He only played 242 snaps in 6 games last season. Now, Waddle caught 28 of 32 targets for 591 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, he averaged 19 yards per reception during his collegiate career, which ranks 2nd on Alabama's all-time list for receivers with a minimum of 100 receptions. The Dolphins could use another explosive playmaker on offense, and Waddle could easily fill that void in Miami this season.
Okay. Waddle? Moody? Come on. I enjoyed the interview, right? This is another guest who was on Welcome to the War Zone. Great interview, very knowledgeable, probably more knowledgeable than me. But I don't know. I wouldn't go 6 with Waddle. I would go offensive line. Bolster, I saw you wanted to get in there. Get in there.
I love the pick, man. Speed kills. Now, I could see, kind of the devil's advocate view is there's always the small, fast guy that gets drafted in the top 10 and how many of those guys work out. But you know what? For what the Dolphins have there in Miami, they have some big receivers. And Devontae Parker, they have Gesicki, a massive tight end. They need some speed. They need somebody who can stretch the field horizontally, right? We always talk about stretching the field vertically, and obviously Jalen Waddle will do that. But you can do the same thing horizontally, and that way, okay, we have some complaints about Tua's arm strength, or we're thinking that coming off a major hip injury. I'll just remind everybody with no offseason. So, okay, a 2-yard crossing route, and let's watch Jalen Waddle take it to the house.
Okay, so you're saying a better Jakeem Grant. Jakeem?
Hope at the number 6 pick.
No, I know that guy always flashes. Whenever I see a Dolphins game and he makes a big play, I'm always like, why don't they get this guy the ball more? And then there's probably reasons why he doesn't get the ball more that are above my head and above my pay grade and analysis and whatever it is. But the guy pops. I felt like that's who you were mentioning when talking about Jalen Waddle. I love the pick. I love the appearance. Thank you for coming on the Warzone Sports Network and making that pick for us. I would have gone Sewell. That's where I would have said.
Look, Eric, that's Eric Moody of The Athletic. Great guy. You can find him on Twitter. He was guest on Welcome to the Warzone as well. It surprised me when he made this pick. I was surprised by it too. So you're not the other one, Tony, that I'm like, but I understand why they made the pick, because if they were going to go wide receiver, you can make all kinds of different ways of which one you want to go with. And a lot of people are considering him, Waddle, to be the more dynamic weapon. So
okay.
I could
not sure what's going on with Joe cutting out there, but I think he was defending it in a great way. And, I'm starting to see more mock drafts where Waddle is going higher, and if weight is a concern, you definitely don't want Devontae Smith in that Miami humidity. I mean, if he's 166 now, he spent an afternoon in there, he's going to come out like 152 pounds because you sweat in South Beach, sitting there on the sidelines.
What's up, everybody? Marcus Grant from NFL Fantasy Live, also playing in the Pace League this year, and with the 7th pick in the NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell. He fell all the way down there, so I'm going with a non-skill position player on offense. I don't know if he does the whole ankle-biting, knee-biting thing that Dan Campbell wants, but he can block the hell out of an opposing rusher, and I feel like that's going to be pretty important.
Former Desert Hills High School star Penei Sewell was awarded tonight the 2019 winner of the Outland Trophy as the country's best lineman, the Oregon tackle. He's just a sophomore, too.
I love it. I love Marcus Grant referencing my favorite thing about Dan Campbell, that press conference for the rest of my life. I will never forget somebody going into deep detail about committing felony assault in his press conference and how they were going to play the game of football. Congratulations, coach. Welcome to Detroit.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to live in infamy, that press conference. But this pick, I think, is a really good one. If they're going to give Jared Goff even the slightest bit of chance to succeed in Detroit, they have to have not only an average offensive line, they have to have a stellar offensive line. And unfortunately, as an SC fan, I got to see Sewell absolutely just pound us. He's an athletic freak. He can move, especially when you talk about the zone running game. It's where he's really going to be able to show off his athleticism. And he's really just kind of scratching the surface of his athletic potential. So I think this is, what some may classify as a boring pick, but that's exactly what the Lions need to be doing to build a foundation.
Absolutely.
And that was Marcus. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. You got it.
Marcus Grant, NFL Fantasy Live. You guys know him. Guest on Welcome to the Warzone as well. A little plug there. Find him on Instagram, Twitter. And guys, he's in the Pace League as well. We've been talking about the Pace League a lot. Marcus Grant, great dude. And I think he was surprised that with this pick that they were still on the board, and he took it.
Yes, and somebody said something about boring. Like the Lions could use a little more boring. Like how many years in a row did they draft Brandon Pettigrew and Eric Ebrons? I think I talked about this the other day. Like at some point when it's not Calvin Johnson, like make the smart move. Get the cornerstone of a good offensive line, and let's move out from there in Detroit. Let's start making smart moves. So I could see the Lions starting to move in the right direction at everywhere except for the HC, which that's not important, is it? Is that?
Yeah, it just matters a little bit,
Okay.
He'll be chewing off kneecaps while the team, is.
People support me in the comments on this one. We all know coaching's overrated. It doesn't matter. It was Brady over Belichick, everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
What's up? It's Nate Christian from the Dynasty Rewind, and I'm here to take the pick for the Carolina Panthers in the NFL Draft this year, and I'm going with the offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater. I am more than happy to have this guy. He can play inside, outside, and the athleticism is there. Going to be great for Joe Brady's offense on the line. Build it up. Let's work with Darnold. Let's see what happens.
Everybody's on the same page. Thank you for stopping in, Nate, and making the sensible pick. When you get Sam Darnold, it's like a battered victim. You want to comfort him. You want to bring him in and say, I know you didn't have support. I know you're used to having pass rush coming like crazy. And then when you do get open, having average weapons, let's bring him in, an offensive lineman, keep him upright so he can reconnect with Robbie Anderson and CMC out of the backfield.
Yeah, I love the pick, especially with Chase, Pitts, and Waddle off the board. To me, this is the obvious pick here. Again, they need to protect Sam Darnold. They gave up a decent amount of picks for him, and they have good enough weapons, like you mentioned, with CMC, DJ Moore, and the string being himself, Robbie Anderson. Him and Sam Darnold already have that connection. For my Cowboys fans, go back and relive that bomb from like the 5-yard line from 2019. That's when a quarterback is just killing it. You got to reference highlights from 2 years ago. Let's go Panthers. Come on now.
Bomb. That was Nate Christensen making the pick, lead analyst for the Dynasty Rewind podcast. Check him out on Twitter and everywhere that you can listen to podcasts, guys. We're still great pick here with the offensive line. Yes, help Sam Darnold, the future GOAT in Brian Bolster's eyes. Whew.
Yes, there was like the only highlight that I was thinking he could reference was when he broke off that big run. Was that last year at the beginning of the year? He had like a 48-yard touchdown run or something against. Was it against Joe's Raiders? It was against some really bad team.
The Broncos, I think.
The Broncos. There we go. I knew it was an AFC West dumpster fire. And then that way we wouldn't be highlighting his throwing ability. But you take us back. It's always fun to live back in the day. I love that.
Now, before we get into number 9, can I just say this might be my favorite one? This might be my favorite guest coming on. I don't know, we are doing a Royal Rumble feel, right? That's where I got the idea. We want to know where it's coming from. So without giving anything away, I just want to say that this might be one of my favorites coming up.
What you gonna do? You're a dying man talking all this bullshit when your life's in my hands. Ladies and gentlemen, no, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is indeed me, the one, the only, the coach, one of the voices in Madden. So if anybody knows the NFL and the XFL, it would be me. But today, right here, right now, it's all about the draft. And with the 9th overall pick, the Denver Broncos select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
Woo!
Joe,
Brian,
go ahead,
Brian.
bud.
Okay, if you guys don't know who that is, it just brought me back to my childhood. That's from WWE, ESPN, XFL. This guy brings me back, like I said, to the childhood memories. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman. If you don't remember, and he was a big reason that ESPN is now showing WWE highlights and everything over there in the Sports Center. Brian, do you remember Jonathan Coachman? It doesn't matter if you remember Jonathan Coachman or not.
Hey, I got to say, great pick. He's definitely going right with John Elway and what he would do. Take the biggest, strongest armed quarterback in the draft. That's pretty much Trey Lance right here. So he's definitely going to be adapting well to that Denver culture, that Denver weather climate, being from North Dakota State. So I'm excited to see him work. Do we think, here's the question to me, if they pick Trey Lance, are they just handing him the job, or are they going to have like a competition with him and Drew Lock?
I felt bad for doing that to Brian, but that was one of my favorite memories. Like, hey, The Rock used to get Jonathan Coachman on that all the time. He used to sell it right. I think this is a great pick for the Denver Broncos. I personally don't want to see it because I'm a Raider fan. I don't want to see Trey Lance. He's still a young quarterback that can do a lot and still be coachable. But what a
Joe,
great pick.
real quick, if you do this, you have to bring in Teddy Bridgewater. You have to trade for a veteran quarterback that knows about preparation and the seriousness. You can't let his introduction. We already talked about how raw he is. His introduction to how the position is supposed to be played is going to be Drew Lock. That would not be a good situation.
They got John Elway over there. They can bring in Peyton Manning at any time. They can call these guys, let them come in, train them up.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. They still have Jake the Snake Plumber on speed dial. They'll bring him up and be like, "Can you get in here and help us out with this?" That was there was the most swag in that by Coach.
Coachman. Oh,
that was fantastic.
I don't know, that one just hits home for me. Like once I got him and he was involved, it was like, yes, this guy right here.
The connection to wrestling will set that off for you. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay, I know why he has this, because we've talked about wrestling, right? And most of my wrestling references are going to be from the early 90s.
And with the 10th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Patrick Surtain. As a Giants fan, it's very painful to be making this selection, but I'm going to give that secondary some love that it definitely needs. And Cowboys fans, you can thank me later.
I love the pick. This is Stephanie Smalls, correct?
Yes.
Very funny on Twitter. I stumbled upon her on Twitter like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. Very funny tweets. Anybody looking for a good follow, go out there. Engages a lot. Not going to lie. The screen glitched during the pick. I don't know who it was.
Patrick Surtain.
There it is. Patrick Surtain. Okay, this is a great pick. Cowboys need this 1,000%. They need help in the secondary of that team. And I think Brian and I talked about this, or was I talking with Joe? This pick seems too sensible to me. I was talking to somebody from Sports Force, and we both agreed the pick seems too sensible. Where are you at, Brian?
Yeah, this is a completely logical pick. Which makes me think that the Cowboys might just not do it, but it's going to be a good look for Alabama and a big-time selling pitch for Alabama, because they're going to be able to point to at least the so-called America's team and say, hey, look at their left cornerback and their right cornerback. Yep, that's two Alabama guys starting at both positions, with Stephon Diggs' little brother on one side and then Surtain the second on the other. So I think it's a good pick for the Cowboys, but I do question Jerry Jones. You know, I think he's going after Kyle Pitts. Hard.
I would love that. On draft day, Jerry Jones is like trading everybody, right? He's like, I'll throw in a signed Des Bryant helmet. Like he just everything he can to get up and get Kyle Pitts on the roster. I do like the idea of it being a great selling point for Alabama too. Like that's what you want. Everybody wants to see stars when they're going places. Where can I go? Where can I go? There's no, more actual literal star than the one that's on the Cowboys helmet. Like you said. So it's going to be. I don't know. And now you give me my close-up. I did my hair for this. I trimmed my facial hair. And now you're going to bring it in when I've got nothing entertaining or remotely interesting to
I'll
add
help
to that?
you out. I'll help you out because that's Steffi Smalls of at FTN Fantasy Twitter and Instagram, FTNbets.com. Very funny. She goes live every Friday night at 4 p.m. on Twitter, guys. You guys need to check her out.
Very funny. Yeah, I'll give my ringing endorsement. I'm going to tune into the lives and check it out because many tweets have made me LOL, as the kids say. Are the kids still saying that?
Going on, everybody? This is Nick Mac Daddy Mac, and on behalf of the Ryan Show FM, Into the Crosshairs on the Warzone Sports Network, and the Hugh Jackson Foundation, with the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. Let's go.
I love it. I love the pick. Nick Mack, the new show. Check it out. That aired this past week. I want to say this as I'm watching that Devonta Smith video there. I am reminded of what my brother used to do to me. I was bigger than him. I'm not sure people are going to be able to catch him, right? Like this was something that my brother used to say to me as a fat kid. Like I used to say, I'm going to beat you up. He said, you got to catch me first. I think this is going to be the theme in the NFL. If you want to beat up Devonta Smith at 166 pounds, you're going to have to catch this dude. There's nobody within 15 feet in any of his highlight videos. Where's I demand low light videos? When was this 166-pound man lit up? Why should I be worried about his stature? Bolster.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely reason to worry. He does have great feet, and he is a savvy route runner, but I think people get too concerned with just getting a release off of a press. The game is a lot more physical than just in press coverage when you have to beat somebody off the line. I do like the pick. I think it's aggressive by the Giants. You know, they need offensive line help, but this is a deep class. I think they can get that in the second round. Don't reach up to take somebody here at 11. And Devontae Smith, if Danny Dimes ends up being that dude, they got an explosive offense all of a sudden with Saquon Barkley coming back. But hey, at 166, it's not only a concern. I mean, the man's probably got a shot at Baby Gap. He's got to wear skinny jeans just as normal jeans. Like, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Like, the reports are he was 170, right? His junior year, he came back. Hey, said I'm still the exact same weight, and then now 166. So, I mean, I don't know if he was never 170 all along or if he's losing weight, but it seems like either way, he's not making the progress that a lot of people want to see.
He can't wear skinny jeans because he needs the extra denim for the added at the weigh-in. Do they get to like just fully suit up and go in there in club wear? Here's the other thing. Football players now, they're playing so much more of this business decision football, right? The smart move is to get down. Like, we know you're tough. You don't need to run through another wall to get down. Like, as soon as you catch the ball, boom, just get to the ground. You know, like, just be healthy. Deshaun Jackson has been able to be successful, and I wish I had other examples of guys that were built that slight, but there's not that many.
Honestly. Since you said the one who like gets down right away, the Greatest Show on Turf, their wide receivers were relatively slim, particularly with Torrey Holt. They're famous for doing that all the time and just staying healthy. You're already getting tackled, go down. So that's probably the route he's going to have to go.
Yeah, Oz Hakeem was that way too, right? Really quick and just poof, just get down, disappear. That's all you got to do.
And somebody who knows a lot about weight, I can gain 10 pounds right now just by thinking about it. I'll gain 10 pounds. So weight is not going to be a factor for him. He's doing it. He'll play hard. But let me get on to who made that pick. That was Ryan Mac Daddy. He's on TikTok. He's on Instagram. He's on the Warzone Sports Network, Into the Crosshairs Basketball Show. He's on the Ryan Radio FM on every Wednesday night. Married to the Game. So you guys need to check him out. And I got Tony drinking the water.
I know. I was a poorly timed sip of water. You're right. I won't do it again. Please feel free to just pump.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam Wagman. I write for 14 Personnel. I am the host of the At The Show FF on Twitter, and I also write for the Eagles at 4th and John. With the 12th pick in the draft this year, the Eagles select the amazing corner from South Carolina, J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn's considered one of the top cornerbacks in this year's draft, is the son of wide receiver Joe Horn, so you know that NFL legacy runs in his blood. I'm sure he'll be a great addition for the Eagles if they decide to pick him. Thank you very much.
Okay, I can just see Jalen Hurts right now being like, J.C. Horn, I need Joe Horn. I'm throwing to Travis Fulgham and Dallas Goedert. Are you freaking kidding me? I love the player and the talent, but they have to draft some weapons. Like, if these other receivers go first, this can't be the pick. Not if he's gonna survive.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough position in the draft to be. You noted they have obvious needs at receiver. They also have needs on the offensive line, and there's no obvious choice here. I like the pick of J.C. Horn in isolation, in a vacuum. I'm interested to see what his celebration game is like, because we all know his dad had some antics, but he's a physical corner, man-to-man style corner where it's Surtain is a little bit more zone type. So I think you're going to see that from him in Dallas. But J.C. Horn, athletic, I like the pick. And I just got to throw this out. Do not be shocked if the Eagles draft Mac Jones if he were to somehow fall down here to number 12.
Did you just say Mac Jones?
Okay.
Mac Jones.
Can we? Oh, really? Let me save this for a little bit. That's Sam Wagman, writer of 4th and Juan. Find him on Twitter and everything. You guys help him out. Great guy. I know he was looking forward to Smith falling one more pick and hoping to grab him, which they weren't. J.C. Horn, it could be considered, the best cornerback in this draft. He has the bloodlines, and it is a good pick, but it's also like the Eagles need so much that it's like, it doesn't matter who they really pick right here, right? Because it's not really going to help the team overall.
Well, yeah, and I guess you do kind of have to just select the best available, like especially in a draft like this, because we're not allowing trades or whatever. So you're just taking the best available, and I like it from that standpoint. But Bolster brought me down a road that I want to travel down, which is nonsense. And what would that celebration even look like? Like in 5 years, let's say he scores a touchdown. Is it hologram technology? Does he operate a drone? Like, because his dad used the cell phone, and that seemed pretty technologically advanced at the time. This dude
flip phone, right?
Yeah. So it's like that's back in the day, but now it'll be even crazier. Like Elon Musk will be throwing something into him. Did Joe Skirto just pop in here?
What the?
What's good?
I told you never know what's going to happen on this episode of a mock draft. We got
like
people
the Undertaker.
Yeah,
just appears. By the way, the coach was unreal, man. Wow, that was pretty electric, if I have to say.
Anything surprising, Joe? You like them all so far?
Oh, I love them all. I mean, you got me right at one when arguably the largest face of the NFL pops up announcing Trevor Lawrence's name in Rap Sheet. So it's been awesome, man. Love it.
Mike, I just want to say you're doing an amazing job. I don't know. I don't know why I need a close. Can we time my close-ups better? Like maybe here's the cue. I'm gonna be like, I'll tap my nose when I have. Here's when you know I got something decent to say. I'll be right there. Just a pop. I got nothing. I just wanted to give Mike a little love because this is running so much smoother when I don't have any of the controls in my hands. If you saw.
Man, why are you guys bugging me before the game starts? I'm watching the Padres game. No, I'm kidding. Fernando Ramirez here for Sports Illustrated. I cover the Los Angeles Chargers and I'm making a 13th selection. So with the 13th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers take cornerback Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. Farley was one of those guys that was projected to be the first cornerback taken. Unfortunately, he had some back surgery issues, so they say he'll be ready by training camp. I feel like he'd be a good selection for the Chargers. I think he'd mix in well with Brandon Staley's new system, and I feel like he's the perfect fit for teaming up with Derwin James, Joey Bosa, Kenneth Murray. Chargers need a superstar almost at every single of one of those positions. Farley has that for them, and the Chargers defense should be on the rise in 2021.
Fernando Ramirez.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Let's
Hey,
add
I
another
gotta say,
injured guy. Let's add
it makes
another injured
perfect
guy.
sense. Perfect sense for the Chargers.
Man.
Like, people always had questions when Derwin James was balling out. Like, oh, how did he fall to 17 to the Chargers? It's like, oh, yeah, he's going to play 3 games a season. Like, Caleb Farley, yeah, like he's awesome if he's healthy. I don't doubt that he plays good football for the Chargers. The man's had multiple back surgeries at pick 13. That has me worried. Seems like Derwin James kind of 2.0.
Skirto.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with every word Brian just said. The injuries, man. I mean, if it was like pick 18 to 20, yeah, but there's a lot of good talent out there. 13th overall. I don't think Farley's worth that. Not because of his talent, it's because of his injuries. And it's not just any injury, it's a back injury. That could be crucial. This guy could have a short career. I hope he doesn't. I hope because he's such a good talent, but I'm not taking him at 13. No shot. He may know better than me though. He works for Sports Illustrated for a reason. I'm just a little guy over here trying to make it somewhere.
We're sports force, man.
Yeah, sports force. Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Fernando Ramirez, great energy, great interview.
Yes.
Respect the pick here. Completely disagree with it. You can't, like Brian said, you can't be drafting guys that are injury prone when that is like the biggest problem that they've had, which is health. I want the guy that I want unbreakable. I want Bruce Willis out there where the only time he's going to even be a little weak is when we get Southern California rain because we never get it. So I want that guy drafted to the Chargers. But to circle back, this is kind of the point of the draft where I'm just like, what do you do? Like, if your guy's not here, you should be trying to trade back. You should be trying harder than Dave Gettleman to move back a couple of places. I don't want to get swindled in the trades.
And we didn't allow the trades in this draft because it would have been so hard. It was already hard enough to get 32 people. That's Fernando Ramirez, Sports Illustrated, Chargers beat writer. Guys, live from Petco Park. And, the Dodgers and the Padres are playing today and this weekend. He's the go-to guy for all the Chargers football, and he's a big wrestling fan as well. Guys, find him. He just started a new YouTube show. It's called Compass on the Beat. It's awesome. Check him out. Fernando Ramirez, thank you for coming on. He was also a guest on our show. Welcome to the War Zone. Great guy. And I told you, I hope I'm delivering. I hope I didn't build this up big enough and you guys are down, but we had Ian Rappaport. You guys saw that. Jonathan Coachman. What can we do now? What's
Cousins to the end zone. Touchdown. Redemption for Chad Beebe.
Hello, I am Chad Beebe, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. And with the 14th pick in the War Zone's mock draft, the Vikings select offensive line, Aliyah Vera Tucker, USC.
You got Chad Beebe. I love this. Okay. Former Packer fan here, Don Beebe, one of my favorites. One of those guys that just was like, you need me on special teams. You need me to block a punt. Favre is going to throw some crazy errant pass. I'll go get it over the middle and get smacked in the mouth. Don Beebe was a stud. Chad Beebe, still making his way into the NFL, but maybe if he can continue to play under Jefferson and Thielen, you'll get some looks, get some balls. I love this. I don't know who pulled this one off, but I'm a big fan of the
current Viking wide receiver, right? 3-year veteran going on to his 4th season. Last year caught 2 touchdown passes from Kirk Cousins. Yes, we like that. We like the pick here. I like the pick here because he knows you want to keep Kirk Cousins standing up to throw him some more touchdowns, right? You bring in Tucker. We don't know if Tucker's going to play tackle or play guard, but either way, I like the pick.
Oh yeah, great pick, man. We've got like the NFL Network in the house. We got Rap Sheet. We've got the biggest names covering the sport. Now we're bringing in players. All we're missing is Roger Goodell. Hey, and you never know. But this is a great pick, man. You see the hat, you see the sign, other sign. But Vera Tucker, he's a beast. He's somebody who can play tackle and inside, and it's exactly what the Vikings need to do right here.
Yeah, absolutely. The flexibility, like Brian said, being able to play guard and tackle and playing it well, that doesn't happen too often. And I think that just makes his value go way up. So I love the pick here. You got to protect Cousins, and you also got to make running room for by far probably the most talented guy on your offense. I know they got a few of those talented guys, but in Dalvin Cook, open up those holes. Elijah Vera Tucker, very good pick. I'm really high on him. So attaboy, BB. Like it.
This is Joe. You got to unmute your mic, bud. This is Broadcasting 101. Here we go.
Broadcasting 101. I'm doing a lot of stuff. You should see my phone right now. I'm kind of like Ian Rappaport, the guy who made our #1 pick. My phone is going off right now with all these great people just hitting me up. And I have some great information. Like, you don't know who's watching this live right now. And people are like texting me, telling me, oh, like who's picking here so I can come on. It's crazy, the stuff that's going on. But woo, we're going pick number 15, right? Chat. We just had a current NFL player make a pick in our mock draft.
You are now tuned into the Come On Man Sports Podcast. Get your snacks, grab a seat, as the boys from Cali bring you some sports
Yo, remember me? Now let me jog your memory. Come on, man, sports. If you need music, check me out, RC Productions. Check me on IG. All my stuff's there. I'm gonna tell you what I'm really here for. Now I'm here to announce the 15th overall pick by, yeah, that's right, my New England Patriots. Your New England Patriots. And the Patriots select Mr. Mac Jones. That's right, Mac Jones. Can't take your ass and sit it down on that bench. You are not playing a snap this season. I'm out.
I love that hype video and the wrestling moves in the front there, in the front yard. This is intense. I had this realization the other day, and why I like Mac Jones to the Patriots, because it just feels like Tom Brady. I've seen that type of quarterback work in that area, but at number 3, when you're giving up the farm, my mind shatters every time. I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to take Mac Jones over one of these other futures of the position.
Mac Jones. You guys don't know who that was. That's Renee, RC Productions, always putting out the great beats and the music. He has provided almost every beat that we use here on the Warzone Sports Network. This guy even talks sports while he's playing beats on his own Instagram. Check him out. He's a big fan of the show, and he was Mike's old co-host on Come On Man.
What do you think about that pick, Joe? Is he going to light up that AFC East, reignite the dynasty?
Sure. Mac Jones. I don't care where Mac Jones goes. I'm just going to yell his name. That's all I'm going to do. Mac Jones. But who knows? I don't know. If it can. I think he'll fit well in New England. We'll say that. I think he'll fit well.
He'd fit great in New England.
I think so too. That especially that boring offense, it's less complex. We all know the Patriots offense is super boring, but it's been successful. And I think a guy like Mac Jones would thrive under that, because it kind of helps his strengths, right? He's not a mobile quarterback. That's why Cam Newton over there, it didn't make any sense, especially not to change the offense at all. So with Mac Jones, he's a guy who could do his thing, and he could just play through his strengths with that offense. So sad to say it, but I love that pick. I think Mac Jones would be perfect for New England, especially with the price as well. 15th, I love Mac Jones. 3rd, not so much.
To play a little bit of devil's advocate here, I mean, the offensive line's really good up there in New England, but I feel pretty confident about saying that Mac Jones played with better receivers in college than he would with the Patriots. And I mean, like, every single one.
He did.
Every single one. It's straight starters from Alabama. N'Keal Harry, sorry, you're hitting the bench. Chris Hogan, I think you've been gone. You would be hitting the bench. Like, I don't know. It's tough.
No,
Hogan's
you're
long
right.
gone. And they got Jonnu, they got Henry. They utilized those big tight ends, even though Alabama, they didn't really
Aguilar.
utilize
What am I saying? Aguilar, they're good to go.
Kendrick Bourne.
Nelson
Come on,
Aguilar.
man. Kendrick Bourne. Aguilar.
Dumping off to James
I
White.
like my boy
Mike
Aguilar.
And now, with the 16th pick overall in the 2021 NFL Draft, we got from the Miami Hurricanes, Jalen Phillips.
Jeff, my guy right there at Sports Me, bringing his own drum roll to it. Jalen Phillips, this is a weird pick to me because how you guys know better than I do. Where would you have him at, like, at his position in the draft?
I think he's number 1. So I don't really mind the pick in a vacuum. Like, in a vacuum, I think he's going to be the best edge rusher. So in a vacuum, I like the pick. But considering where he's likely to go in this draft, I think you can get him in the late 20s. So it's a little bit of a reach in that sense. But at the same time, if you're sticking to your guns on best player available, hey, we don't really have a great trade back option, pick him.
Skirdo?
Yeah, I think it's a reach too. I honestly would have taken a corner there. I do like Jalen Phillips a lot, but I'm afraid of his off the field issues too. That's in his medical history. So those are just two things that you don't like to see. There's no doubt about it. He's talented, but 16th, like Brian said as well, I think he's more 22 to 27. Honestly, that's kind of where they got him in his draft stock. If I'd reached for anyone as the Cardinals, I would have reached for Greg Newsome, the cornerback, because they need help in that secondary. They got plenty up front. Their front 7 is set. They don't need much more. Yeah, you could always take another edge rusher, but I just think it's a slight reach. But I'm not going to hate the pick. Jalen Phillips is a great talent.
This pick would just confirm my theory that J.J. Watt went to Arizona to retire, right? Like, it would just everything. They're like, well, we kind of know we're going to get about 10, 12 games out of this signing, and we just wanted to make a big splash. That's all we wanted to do. Like, I don't know. AJ Green, what are they doing down in Arizona? I'm not really sure what's happening.
It's kind of a surprise pick, but Jalen Phillips has been moving up, and they said that Jalen Phillips will surprise a lot of people in this upcoming draft of where he goes. So I don't know. You can never have too many pass rushers and good pass rushers from there. But Jeff, that's Jeff from the Sports Me app. Jeff is a creator of the app. It's called Sports Me, where it pins you in a battle and face-to-face against people all over the world. You record a video, 30-second video, and debate a topic there. Then everyone gets to vote and respond to that vote or whatever you said. And it's kind of like Around the Horn. If you guys remember that show, the person with the most points wins that topic. Try it out today on your Apple Store or Google Play Store.
Sports Me. Okay, real quick on the Jalen Phillips thing. He said, I'm worried about his off-the-field behavior and his medical record. There's not much more to worry about. It's not like, does he have a peanut butter allergy or whatever else? Like, I'm terrified if you're worried about. Those are two humongous things to be worried about. Will the guy get in trouble or will he get hurt? Beyond that, it's like, I don't care if he's into kink. I'm not worried about any of his other stuff. I'm worried about, will he stay on the field and will he not get hurt? That's it. They go hand in hand. I may have went off the rails too far.
I mean, those are concerns, but we can't act like there haven't been star players that, played with concerns, right? So, I mean, I get it, But hey, if he could play, he could play. This is the NFL. It's about what you do on the field. They'll overlook a lot.
Yeah. No, they
The
always
best
do.
team is on the clock. The best.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Juan representing the Max and Juan Cast, and I'm here making the Raiders selection right here at 17. And with the 17th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Absolute stud. Best linebacker in this class, in my opinion. It'll be a miracle if he winds up dropping out of the top 10. Great pick for the Raiders if this happens. But that's what I'm going with this mock draft. Big shout out to Joe Morley. Big shout out to all the Warzone Sports Network guys. All you guys keep on grinding, bro. Keep on putting out content. And make sure to go check out the Max and Juan Cast. We're available on all social platforms, all media platforms, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff, bro. But for now, we out.
Love this right here. Thank you, Juan. I really love the pick. Excuse me, a little frog in the throat. This would be like finding a way. And this is their own pick, right? So this is like replacing Khalil Mack in a way, like getting another stud at linebacker. Kind of also like almost makes me feel like it wasn't such a bad move to trade Khalil Mack, because it's not like the Bears did anything with him.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Let me talk to you guys for a second about this, because I am a Raider fan and I do love this pick. But that was Juan from Max and Juan Cast. You guys can check him out on YouTube and Instagram. Great guys, great follow. Go check him out. But I told you my phone has been going off the hook since we started, right? Since we started, it's been over an hour again now. It's been going off the hook. Here it is. My messages are just going crazy. Somebody been watching our show, waiting for this pick right here. Darren Waller, tight end of the Las Vegas Raiders, is going off. And he said, this is coming from my guy, Jay the Plug. Jay the Plug and the Pace League. Let me tell you guys, let me sponsor that one more time. The Pace League, please go out in there and donate. Darren Waller, Jay the Plug on there. Jay the Plug had it worked out one time where Darren Waller, I'm sitting at work. Darren Waller FaceTimed me from Jay the Plug's house. And I was surprised. I didn't know it was going to pop up. Started talking to me. He told me that to basically go something to myself, right? Darren Waller, great guy, but it was just having a great time. We had a great conversation. But he's watching right now. He's watching this show. And you know what he told me? You know what he said? Parsons not the pick. And this surprised me. When we said, who's the pick? Who should the Raiders pick at this pick? And this is a name that you haven't heard of. And I don't know, is it inside information? I doubt it. Maybe it's just him liking somebody. But Darren Waller threw a name out here, and he said, cornerback Javon Holland.
Huh?
Yes.
No, Holland's a beast. I like it. I like that. I think, he's actually going to be the number one safety. He can play corner too. Really, he can play in the nickel. He can play everywhere, an Oregon guy. I like this pick a lot, to be quite honest with you. Or that. His idea for the pick for Micah Parsons. I'm really interested to see where he ends up kind of fitting into that defense, inside, outside, and athletic freak. But, he kind of has some question marks, I guess I'll say, and that's why he's fallen to 17.
Yeah, for Parsons to fall, I'll take it. But just to have Darren Waller on my phone, everything going on, and Jay the Plug hooking this up, and Darren Waller knowing what our mock draft is going on, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. So I had to share that story with you guys about Darren Waller and who Darren Waller would like to see go at this spot.
Yeah, I mean.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Kevin Banks, representing the Fantasy Football Boot Camp Show, coming very soon, brought to you by, Warzone Sports Network, best network around. But yeah, so we are picking for the Miami Dolphins at the 18th pick in the 2021 draft. And for the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to select, who should we select? Azeez Ojulari. Now, I probably butchered his name, but one of the best edge rushers in the draft. I really think this guy could be the top, in my opinion. And not only that, he fits the scheme what Brian Flores is trying to do. You know, we need an edge rusher after releasing Kyle Van Noy and also traded away Lawson, our edge rushers, right? So it just makes sense. Dolphins are most likely going offense with the 6th pick. And, 18, you got to feed the defense too. Very good defense. And the only edge rusher they have that's, any kind of good is Emmanuel Ogbah. So fins up, baby. Let's go.
Azeez Ojulari has made a big impact tonight as he typically does.
Okay, that is a great pick. Piggy Banks picks. Looking forward to the fantasy show that is coming out. But to me, I think their defense is solid, and I think they could get with the way that Flores coaches, they could get defensive players later in the draft, right? I think you got to get. I forget who they went in the first round of this one, but you got to go offensive line or receiver or something at this pick.
They went receiver with the first pick.
Okay.
So they already got the receiver. Now they're looking at what else they need to do. And, I mean, like you said, he bolster up that defense if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a defensive-minded guy like Brian Flores, you never could utilize enough edge rushers. I love this pick. He's kind of him and Phillips are similar. Like we've seen them go in the late teens and we've seen them go in the early second rounds. But I think both of them are the top 2 edge rushers. And I love how he didn't pick a running back because I know the Dolphins fans want to take a running back. And I have made my case known that that is not the move. So I'll take an edge rusher. It's one of the more valuable positions on a team. So attaboy, Piggy.
Especially with Mac Jones entering that division, you got to get somebody in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seeing him with his shirt off smoking a cigar, Ojulari can catch him pretty easily. So I like that.
That was Kevin Banks' fantasy advice. If you guys need fantasy advice, hit him up. New show, Boot Camp with Fantasy Football Boot Camp with Kevin Owens and Seven and him. They're going to go together on the Warzone Sports Network. Find him at Piggy Bank Picks on Instagram. Great guy coming to the Warzone Sports Network.
Bolster, you missed the Ojulari pick. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't.
I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good pick. I think everybody kind of said it. It's addressing an area of strength. They need to continue to build on that front 7. I don't want to say last year was a fluke for the Dolphins, but they definitely can't kind of rest on their laurels and just think that they're definitely going to be taking steps forward this year. They have holes to fill on that roster. And I agree with Joe wholeheartedly. Like, I am glad they did not take a running back right here. Myles Gaskins did a fine job. You can get a great running back, not only in the second round, but in the late rounds or even undrafted. So definitely don't reach for that position. And I got to have a shout out for Joe Morley. I caught just a little bit of his spiel, and what great vocabulary use. My man bolstered up that defense. That's perfect.
You collect like a nickel every time somebody uses that. It would be great. Oh, I would be trying to get that with, the F word in my last name rhymes so well. Go. So
before we get into this next pick, I want to say we here at Warzone Sports Network have a very soft spot in our network for veterans and the military in our country. So here at number 19 is our salute to the veterans and salute to the troops out there.
What's happening, Warzone and Mike on the mic? This is Sonar Technician, Second Class, Surface Warfare Specialist, Petty Officer Dyson, here to give you the Washington football team's 19th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. I'm the biggest Washington football team fan you will ever find, here or around the world. I got my first jersey hanging up back there, Chris Cooley, my favorite tight end. Without further ado, the Washington football team selects Christian Darrisaw, offensive lineman, Virginia Tech. Hail to the football team, guys. Let's go get this bowl.
Let's go get this bowl, he said.
Well, okay. Thank you for your service, Mr. Dyson. I really appreciate that. Looks like he's all about it right now. Well, I'm comfy at home, and I could not be more appreciative of all the luxuries that I am afforded. I do like this. I do like this pick for what's left, right? Like at this point in the draft, because all the quarterbacks are gone. They didn't move up there. I think they added the receiver from the Panthers already, and you got F1. And like you guys have been harping, you don't want to go running back at this position. So maybe there's a defensive guy that I'm not thinking about. Maybe Greg Newsome or something like that. But I like the pick.
I like the pick a lot too. I think kind of the only other choice was that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, really athletic. He's listed as a linebacker, but I kind of see him playing in the nickel and almost as a hybrid safety, kind of like we've seen with some of these newer prospects coming in, like Isaiah Simmons. There's Kyle Duggar and Jeremy Chin. I kind of see him a little bit more along those lines, but I agree with you. If they really are going to ride with Heineke and Fitzpatrick, they've got to solidify that offensive line. Dare saw a really athletic prospect, and I think it's the right move.
My guy, Heineke. Go,
Agree.
Skirto.
Yeah, the right move as well. I really like Darisaw. And again, it's like edge rusher. It's like lineman. You never can have enough of these guys. They bring back Brandon Sheriff. A lot of people didn't think they would be able to. They did that. And now you keep building. We obviously know the quarterback situation isn't solidified. So do as much as possible to make whoever, whether it's Heineke or Fitzpatrick's jobs a lot easier. And I think Darisaw is a great addition and a great start to really bolster up that offensive line.
We need points. We need like a ding for that. And you get points and the little stars on it.
Yes, I'm gonna email that to StreamYard, and I also need sound effects incorporated. I need to be able to get like when I start talking a dump truck, like just a trash truck needs to be like beep beep beep, so everybody knows that it's about to be hot garbage.
So let me tell you who that is. That is U.S. Navy Petty Officer, Second Class DJ Dyson. We want to thank him for his service, along with all the men and women around the world. The Warzone Sports Network sends a huge salute to our current military personnel and everybody who's serving and done serving around this country. Thank you for everything you guys have done. You guys are true heroes.
Hats off.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, you gotta just when that it's got to be like dun, 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 all that stuff, you know.
What's up? Justin here from Clock Management, Fantasy Football, and the Pace League. We got Darren Waller, we got T-Pain, and more importantly, we got Jay the Plug. But today, I'm here to make sure the Bears don't screw up yet another draft. You're welcome, fornicator. You owe me. With the 20th pick, the Bears select Greg Newsome. He's cornerback. He's what they need. They need help in the secondary, man. And he had a shortened season last year, still managed 10 breakups, 1 interception, 12 tackles. Dude's lanky. He's got the body of a cornerback in the NFL. So he's going to make an immediate impact. I say year 1, maybe year 2. That's what they need back there.
And that would feel good to me because the Bears are all about defense. From Monsters of the Midway to Urlacher to, even the Khalil Mack time. Like, just play it safe. I don't ever want to hear them get up there and be like Mitchell Trubisky or Sam Trubisky or whatever next person that they're going to draft super high. It always scares me when they draft offensively.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Can't lie about that. With this pick, I can't say that I don't like it, but there is a little bit of cause for pause. I believe that Greg Newsome only has 1 interception in his entire college career. I know interceptions can be kind of an up and down stat for DBs. He's shown pretty consistent pass defenses. So I just wonder if they're getting a big enough playmaker here for a first-round selection. But I definitely think it's a smart pick. I mean, I don't know. You're the Bears and you're riding with Andy Dalton. You pick a corner. He might be great, but dang, you've got David Montgomery and Andy Dalton. I guess Allen Robinson's nice. Like, yeah,
for another
we've
12
got
months.
the best quarterback that's ever thrown to Allen Robinson. That's what they're telling their fans right now.
It's basically true though. That's the concerning part. But with Newsome, I mean, you lose a guy like Kyle Fuller. It's obviously a need, and I think, yeah, you do need to go offense. But where do you go? Offensive line, maybe. Obviously, you can't go quarterback now. Newsome's like that lanky guy. He plays his own scheme. I know it's kind of concerning with the one interception, but for college, I don't look too much into that because the way I think about it is those guys aren't getting open for him to intercept the ball. And that's kind of what I want to think because I know he's involved with the Jets as well at 23rd. Obviously, he gets taken here at 20. But I like the pick just because you lose Fuller. And who knows what the Bears need to do? They are the strangest team ever. You could blame Ryan Pace, the worst GM in sports, I would say.
In sports? Ooh.
In sports, I could go and say that. I mean, you passed on arguably two quarterbacks. Well, at least one that is already going to be a Hall of Famer. You pick Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, of course, Joe Douglas could be doing the same thing here, but man, like, how do you get it that wrong? How do you get it that wrong to pick Mitch Trubisky over Mahomes? And not just Mahomes, the guy who won the national championship the year before. So yeah, I'll say he's the worst GM currently in sports right now.
He moved up too, correct? Like
one spot. He moved up one spot, gave up additional assets when the Niners weren't drafted a quarterback anyway. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, I've seen a lot of bad GMs, okay? More than I should have in my young life. But Ryan Pace, man, he's taking the cake right now. And I know Bears fans hate him too, so.
Yes, they do.
Let's get into who made that pick. That's Justin from Clock Management and the Pace League. We've been talking about the Pace League. Please make a donation if you can. Find him on Twitter and Instagram as well as his YouTube channel. He's a fantasy guy. He'll get you the fantasy advice that you need. Come get your fantasy advice from him. He's always willing to chat it up about fantasy football. Justin from Clock Management and the Pace League. I forgot that T-Pain was in there too. T-Pain, another guy.
That video that Joe put out with T-Pain talking about fantasy football I wish I had that kind of confidence for anything. He was just like, I never played fantasy football before, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to whip everybody. I'm going to have no knowledge. I'm just going to guess. He just started naming bows. He's just like, I want Bo Baccarat, Bo Jackson. I was just like, this guy's hilarious and great, and I hope he wins it all.
Beginner's luck always happen. What are we on? Pick number 21, the Indianapolis Colts, right? Let's do this.
How you doing? My name is Scott Ruggles. I play Rick Wilson on the TV show called All American. With the 21st overall pick in the Warzone mock draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Kwity Paye, edge rusher, Michigan.
No way.
Wow.
Okay. I love this show.
Great show.
That's good
Great
stuff.
show.
Terrific show. Wow.
Scott Ruggles from TV show All American on CW. He's also, if you guys don't know, he's also the director of football relations at UCLA.
I didn't.
Boo. No.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That makes sense there in the TV show then.
Yes.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the show, but
what a show. I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm angry. I love that show. Love it.
No season 4 spoilers. I binge watched that show. I messed up. I forgot the pick already. What just happened? I got so excited.
You forgot who he took?
Kwity Paye, yeah.
Kwity Paye. Okay. This feels good. This is why I was asking before about the Jalen Phillips, whether or not he was too high, right? Because I don't know. I see different mock drafts. I hear different people talking about all the edge rushers. And with all the quarterback conversation, there's just less of that conversation. But Kwity Paye seems to be higher in a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing.
Yeah, a lot of people get mad if Kwity Paye is not taken in the first round, like a mock draft. So like, where's he at? And I think in the first mock draft that we did, he didn't go in the first round, and now he's moving up and down. So it's going to be interesting to see where he actually goes in the real draft next Thursday.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty polarizing prospect that people have going as high as 11th to the Giants and all the way down, sliding almost out of the first round. I think he's going to end up being kind of right towards this number 20 pick. I think he's a prospect with a lot of upside.
Yeah, no.
But he's from Michigan. And
I thought Skirto was still here. I was trying to give him some room to jump in.
I am still here.
Oh, there you are. Yeah,
I know. I disappeared. I saw myself disappear and come back. But Kwity Paye, I'm a Michigan guy, so I like it. I do like receiver here for the Colts, but it's either edge rusher or receiver. I think those are the two needs. I would just lean slightly towards receiver because Hilton's only under a 1-year deal. You committed with Carson Wentz. Don't give him any more excuses. Give him as much weapons. But Kwity Paye is a tremendous talent. All these edge rushing guys, you don't know where they're going to go. They're all super talented, but they're going to go either really early or really late. We have no idea. But Kwity Paye is a beast. We all know that. He has all the intangibles to be great and make that Colts defense even better, which does help Carson Wentz in a way as well.
And the other thing is, like, he becomes a great steal name, where it's like, the farther that guys like this fall because they were so high and mocked so early on, they're like, they stole this guy when we all really have no idea if they're going to pan out. I mean, we got to look at their health records and their off the field problems.
3, 2, 1. Get it back again. And made the rejection. One small step. One giant leap for mankind.
Brian Bolster of Bolstered Up Sports, Warzone Sports Network, and Sports Force selecting the 22nd overall pick for my Tennessee Titans, and it's going to be Kadarius Toney, explosive wide receiver from the University of Florida, broke out on the scene this year. He's played some running back as well as receiver and made his impact found in the punt return game with a touchdown there as well. He also gave Alabama that work this season for over 150 yards. Y'all check my boy Kadarius Toney going to the Titans. Him and AJ Brown. Let's go.
Oh, all right. Our very own Brian Bolster picking. So
How did Brian end up there? How did Brian end up there? He's not famous.
I gotta get a shirt, man. I gotta get a shirt now. As soon as I leave this stream, I'm about to buy 5 of those. Wow, Brian, why didn't you tell me? No, the Sports Force shirt, not your Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I got 2 Sports Force shirts. Hey,
wow, you could have told me, hey, Joe, listen, these shirts are legit and they look good. You should get one.
Yeah, we got them in like 3 colors. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, this was a tough pick. I got to give myself an A-. There's a little bit of risk here with Kadarius Toney. He's a bit of a late bloomer, but he was a do-it-all explosive weapon at the University of Florida. Return game out of the backfield, averaging over 8.5 yards per carry. And then as a receiver, which we all know, he is so fast. And I'm just fixated on the Titans bringing speed to their offense. I went back and forth between him and Rondale Moore. Ended up going with Kadarius Toney. And just a little bit of a prediction. I actually think Kadarius Toney is going to go much earlier than pick 22. I would keep your eyes out for potentially the Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals. I think that's the most likely spot for Kadarius Toney, which might be a surprise to some people. So I think the Titans get a steal here.
Every time we sit down for a mock, he moves up.
Right. Yeah, right. I agree. I think this is similar to what happened to Henry Ruggs last year. And I will toot my own horn that I did say Henry Ruggs last year was going to be the first guy off the board, not because of his talent, because of his athleticism and speed. That's exactly what happened. I think Toney's going to go earlier. I think he'll be picked before Devontae Smith because of the just like we love to hype up the guys later on because of their athleticism. And I think he is that good. I mean, you watch his highlight tape, man, this dude can make some crazy plays. I think he brings a great dynamic to that offense, along with some big bodies, of course, with AJ Brown. So yeah, Brian, I'll give you an A- here, but I do think that Tony's going to go sooner because of his speed. That's what we look into wide receivers nowadays. It doesn't matter about height or weight anymore.
Yeah, you guys have said speed 3 times, so I already know he's not making it past 17 because the Raiders, they love speed, right? Like there's no chance if this guy can run, they'll take him. Look, let's
you see
just
me laughing over here, Tony. You see me laughing at that?
Oh, Joe, I thought you were muted. I had no clue that you could hear that we were.
You want to talk about my Raiders, and I'm sitting right here?
No,
they lost Aguilar, man. They got to replace him. Seriously, would it be that shocking, Joe? Would you be that shocked if Kadarius Toney was the pick of 17?
No, not really. Not really. Not really.
3, 2, 1. Get it back again. They made the rejection. One small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
This is Joe Skirto here with Sports Force on the Warzone Sports Network, as well as Turn Up the Jets on Instagram. I just want the Jets to have nice things for once, right? We finally got Joe Douglas. We got Robert Saleh. Man, it just put me out of my misery. Can we finally get a relevant team for once? I've been waiting all my lifetime. But anyway, I'm going to stop reminiscing and stop complaining of my miserable fandom. And I'm going to announce the 23rd overall pick of the NFL draft as the New York Jets, the Jets, Jets select Creed Humphrey, center out of Oklahoma. The Jets desperately need interior linemen, especially if you're going to go draft your future franchise quarterback in Zach Wilson. I know there's a lot of good edge rushers, and I know there's a lot of good corners, and you could utilize those guys as well. But Creed Humphrey is a guy that you could put right in there week 1 as your starting center. And they have Connor McGovern, of course, at center, but he could slide a guard. He did it many times with the Broncos. And then you're starting to build that line for once, something you didn't do when you had Sam Darnold.
Okay, Joe, I hope that we still know each other in like 15, 20. Like when you're a little old, you're starting to approach your 40s and it's the same. Can I just get one relevant team in my miserable life, please?
It's going to be the same.
It's going to be this. Yes. And then I also love in there when you said, could we have like a fun, relevant team? And then you draft a center named Creed Humphrey, which I don't even, we talked about this the other day and you said how much you loved him. So it made perfect sense that you drafted this guy.
Right. I mean, if Newsome was there, I was snagging him. But for Humphrey, I mean, this is another guy. I think it's a reach. I do. And I think the Jets, if there isn't a corner there, or personally, I think the Jets are going to trade up if their guy is there. I think that's a very possible thing. They have 10 picks. Why not? If your guy's there, why not trade up? But sitting here, not being able to trade, might as well reach for an offensive lineman because the edge rushers were gone, which would have been Ojulari. That's who I would have taken in Newsome. But Humphrey's a guy that, yeah, he can be a starting caliber center, and there's center currently now can switch to guard. And that's what Joe Douglas loves. He likes all these offensive linemen that can play different positions. The flexibility is huge. So, yeah, build up the line. Joe Douglas was a former lineman from Richmond. So I know he's going to take a lineman at least at 23 or 34. Again, Humphrey's a reach, but it's a huge need, and it helps basically the guy that you're putting the franchise's hands to with Zach Wilson. So
I agree. Bolster?
Yeah, I think if you're a Jets fan for this pick, you're happy with Creed Humphrey, again, in a vacuum, not necessarily at pick 23. I think the ideal situation is, one, you're sitting at home praying that they do not draft a running back at 23. You hope that they probably trade back with the team that's looking to move up to probably pick a wide receiver, and you can drop back and maybe pick him at 30. That sounds a little bit better. I just think there's some depth at the position with Landon Dickerson, with Wyatt Davis, that you can definitely get at pick 34.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just want them, if you either get somebody to protect you, the guy that you drafted at 2, or somebody who can take the ball away and give it back to who you drafted at number 2. So I like all of the players that Skirdo mentioned picking at this position.
How did we have Brian and Joe go back to back? Like it was the new day coming out for the Royal Rumble. It's a new day. I don't know if you guys know them. It's kind of new school wrestlers. But you guys know Brian's here. Joe's here. Both of them. Joe's on Turn Up the Jets. Married to the Game. Both of them are on Married to the Game on Wednesday. I say Wednesday mornings, but it's Wednesday afternoons on some. Find them on Married to the Game on the radio. And you know, Joe is the better half of Sports Force over Brian. I'm sorry to say it. I'll say it, but I'm saying it to his face. I'm saying it to his face right here.
Turns right to Brian.
Yeah. Hey, the Titans are better than the Jets. I beat Joe in 99 Madden Blitz. What else is there to say? I mean, come on now.
Man, I don't know. Hey, one game doesn't define greatness. That's why we're recalling for a rematch, and maybe we have to somehow let the fans see that matchup. I don't know how we could, but we all know I'm going to win because I know how to play now.
No, you got to stick with the Jets though. As long as it's Oilers versus the Jets, I feel pretty good.
We do have a Warzone. We do have a Warzone Twitch account that we could probably hook that up on.
I love this. I think everybody should be getting involved with this. You said the 99 teams?
Yeah, 99 Blitz. So I had to play with the Oilers, not the Titans. But, you know, Steve McNair, Eddie George, the boys got it done. I had to take a bit of a cheap shot on my guy, Keyshawn Johnson. You know, there's no penalties in Madden Blitz.
Okay, hang on real quick. So he basically had Chad Pennington, Wayne Corbett, and Curtis Martin, and you got Steve McNair and Eddie George and Kevin Dyson and Steve Wycheck, and you got all those.
Yeah. My team was balling. Hey, I want Joe. Who was your quarterback though? Do you remember?
Yeah, it
wasn't Pennington.
Yeah, it wasn't Pennington. It wasn't Testaverde. I don't know. He was number 4. I honestly don't even know who he was.
I wonder if it was a Detmer. It was probably like a Coy or a Ty or somebody from the Detmer family.
He threw a pick to lose the game. That's what I remember.
What's up? I'm Bobby Thompson of G&T Sports Talk presented by Grunt Talks Podcast. You can catch all of our content on our website, grunttalksmlb.com, and on our YouTube channel, Grunt Talks GT Sports. I'm here to announce the Steelers pick. So let's get to it. With the 23rd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. Really need a running back? He's the best one available. Works out perfectly.
This is the one exception I would say, like, I could get them taking this player right here. And I think we've talked about in other ones. Maybe they trade back and they get somebody else. I also do believe too, like, maybe they're in the market like a sleeper for quarterback at this position. Like, Ben's not got forever left. In fact, he should be hanging out with Drew Brees somewhere, sipping Mai Tais and hitting golf balls, because there's not much there. What do you think about Najee going right here?
I don't like running backs in the first round. I love Najee Harris, but I don't like him in the first round. He is not going to solve the problems that the Steelers have. They need to solve issues up front first and foremost, not only, like you mentioned, for their aging quarterback, but for the run game. The offensive line dictates the run game a lot of times far more often than the running back really does. I mean, we don't have to look too much further than the Giants to see that. So I'm not a big fan, to be quite honest.
Well, also too, like, I kind of like the other guy out of Clemson. Like, if they could trade back, or the kid from North Carolina. Like, they seem to be more of the future of the position, more of what Le'Veon Bell was for the offense. His pass catching ability, split them out, make more plays in different ways, adding, being more dynamic. I know they were able to bring back your USC boy, Juju, back into the fold, but that's not going to, he's 1 year, and then he goes and signs with Skirdo's Jets?
Yeah, just 1 year, but I think they got him on a pretty good deal.
A lot of tackles taken already. So, Steelers wanted to go offensive line. They couldn't really go there. I understand this pick. It's a good pick for the running back position. They need it. They lost Connor. Can they wait on it? More than likely. But Bobby Thompson, host of G&T Sports Talk, and he contributes to FanSided as well. Find him on Twitter or gruntstalksmlb.com or Grunt Talk Sports on YouTube. Guys, find him out. But I like the pick for the Steelers. Me personally, I've been falling more in love with Javonte Williams, and I'm thinking he's the best running back in this draft. But I don't know. It always surprised me to see us take it. We've been taking him in our mock drafts. We've been taking running backs, but it always surprises me that one's going to go because come next Thursday, they're saying that there might not even be one in the first round.
I don't think there will be. I think anybody who does want a running back is probably going to trade back. Like they'll just be mad dashes. Something always breaks where like somebody's guy gets stolen and they move up to get their second guy before they miss out on him too, whether it's offensive line or pass rusher or whatever it is. Like, and running backs will be pushed to the side. It'd be a lot going day two.
Johnny Talk Sports here to announce the 25th pick. And with the 25th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Merrig, safety, TCU.
Okay.
I like the pick here. It's a pick for need, and he's an athletic safety. He plays really tight man-to-man coverage. I think his coverage skills are there, but his speed is a little bit lacking for being a deep safety, and I don't know that he has the versatility that Javon Holland does. So I actually would prefer Javon Holland here, but I think Trayvon Merrig is a likely pick right here.
So the second, what was it? Holland, right? The second Holland shout out in this. Now I got to go because nobody's brought him up before this. And now all of a sudden Darren Waller does it. And now it's a popular thing to do. It's the cool thing. We're all screaming Holland over here. I'm going to go look, and I'm not one of those guys like, I'm going to get into the tape. I'm just going to watch the same 4-minute highlight reel that is out there on YouTube and see, because I won't be able to tell. And there's so many like circumstantial things. Like I'm one of the people that believe the Jaguars could go from like 1-15 to like a 9-18 by year 2. Could be like, 10-7 or something like that.
Get that.
I like Urban Meyer. I like Trevor Lawrence. This could be the start of something good for Jacksonville. And I just love hearing whenever they do something good, I love hearing them scream Duval. It's fun. I don't even know what it means or what county it is, but they just start yelling Duval. I'm like, okay, this is fun. I want to yell Duval.
So Johnny's in the chat right now, and he's saying he can't believe that he fell this far. I'm kind of with him because I could see the Raiders going this pick right here. Johnny Talk Sports. Find him on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram as well, you guys. He's a great guy. But yeah, he's in there, and he's saying like he could have gone top 20, and he just got him at number 25. Some people will call him a reach, but he's a top 15 talent, is what Johnny is telling you.
Yeah, well, talk to Darren Waller about it, my friend.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Darren Waller, speaking about Darren Waller, if we got a little break in between these picks, I'm going to bring somebody in to talk about the Pace League just a second. We'll see if his audio is good. So,
hey,
Mr. Jay the Plug live. Jay, give us a little bit about the Pace League, please.
I'm going to make sure I don't get hammered. I just pulled over to come talk to you guys, man. How you doing, fellas? The show's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. Loving it. So, the Pace League, a little something I started with Justin from Clock Management. Y'all saw him earlier making the pick for the Bears. It's basically a league for charity. I had an idea to have some of my buddies hop in the leagues, and sorry, I'm about to feel like I'm about to get rear-ended and like killed on camera. So that'd be something cool to have, right? So Pace League is
is a bunch of our guys that are playing for some charities. I'm part of the Austin Eckler Foundation. I appreciate him backing me for that. Darren Waller is some foundation. I think it's Joe, you can help me with that. What's it called?
The Austin Eckler Foundation, or which one were you talking about? Sorry.
The one that Darren Waller's representing.
He's the Darren Waller Foundation, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He has a foundation named after himself. It's kind of arrogant, whatever. Hugh Jackson, same thing. Whatever. T-Pain, he's going for Caregivers 911 or 911, whatever, And Chael Nash is about to announce his. Marcus Grant, got a bunch of guys. Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show. Just a lot of great guys for a lot of great causes, man. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if y'all saw the video I posted of that T-Pain sent me.
I absolutely love that. Plug. That video made me laugh so hard because that sort of confidence that he has, where he's like, yeah, I'm just taking everybody's money. I'm winning everything. You know how it is. And I'm just like, wait, where's his fantasy football experience? And he's like, I don't know anything about fantasy football. I'm like, oh shit, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. You can tell that he's had a couple to drink before he put that video. He sent it to me at 5:11 in the morning.
Wow.
Oh,
and
wow.
When you've got a guy holding a blue Solo cup and he does this face right here, gentlemen, will tell you if a person is drunk. When he goes to laugh, and he's like, "That's what's up," like he's laughing to himself. He was, yeah, he was drunk, but he wants to Mortal Kombat everybody and just push a bunch of buttons. Like I think he thinks that this is going to be a video game. That's how little he knows about fantasy football. But yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Some of his guys, Young Cash and Chael Nash, are in it. Young Cash knows a lot about football. He's excited to be in it too. Waller swears he's going to redeem himself. I've got an interview with him that we talk a little bit about fantasy football, and he talks about how he was in a league with a girl he was dating, and he got stomped. So he said he had to redeem himself somehow. So.
Who's going to draft Darren Waller before he can draft himself in that league? That's what I'm interested to know with that Pace League. I'm going to be watching it. We're all going to be watching it pretty soon, but I appreciate it, Jay. We're out here, you guys. We have the link up below. If you guys don't know Jay the Plug, donate to the Pace League. Please get it out there. Share it. Find him on Instagram. Follow him for up-to-dates on what that league is going to do. Waller first pick. Is Waller going to go first pick?
I don't know. We're gonna draft using the Kentucky Derby, or not draft using, but figure out draft orders. So we'll figure that out. We're gonna randomly assign everybody numbers, and then we're gonna pull other numbers out of a lotto machine, so it's completely random, and assign them to a horse. And on Saturday we're gonna do a live, not this Saturday, but the Saturday where the race is going on May 1st, and I'm going to be on there. I'm going to try and get Darren to get on there. T-Pain's going to try and be on. Young Cash is going to be on there for sure. Spencer the Guru is going to join us. I mean, anybody who wants to hop on, man, y'all please join us. It's going to be during the race, so y'all are going to hear a bunch of cussing and people getting pissed off, and just have a good time. Drink some mint juleps. Wear a hat like an asshole. Like, who wears a top hat like a prick? Like, idiots.
All right, Jay. Well, we appreciate your time, man, and like we said, everybody donate to the Pace League. Check it out on Instagram. A lot of great celebrities, great people in there, and let's do it for the cause.
Yeah, much appreciated, guys. Thank y'all so much for having me, man. Before I go, every one of y'all are going to be doing this for a living soon. Seriously,
very kind, sir.
I'm dead serious. Y'all have got the voice. You got Brian there with the laugh and the big smile. He's trying to grow a beard out. Like, Joe is just Joe. And man, Tony, y'all are fantastic, man. I can't thank y'all enough for having me on, but y'all have fun with the rest of the draft. All right.
Jay, do you see who we don't allow on the screen? You see who we don't allow on the screen? Mike on the mic. You see that, right?
Yeah, man. He's sitting there talking crap about blitz. Come on, man. Have y'all played NFL Street? Boy, man, I'm happy to be my oh crap. If it isn't the most electrifying man. Okay, whatever.
We'll get rid of Mike, but
no.
It's great to see him. All right, Jay. Well, we'll have a fun time and continue your drive, and we appreciate you checking in on us. Pace League, guys. Pace League. We'll put that up one more time for you guys to check it out. Please donate there. Big things happening over there. A lot of love here for the Warzone Sports Network and the Pace League working together.
Absolutely, guys. Thank y'all so much. Brian, Joe, Tony, it was a pleasure.
Appreciate you, Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. You already know, man. And I am honored to introduce the Cleveland Brown 26th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. And with the 26th pick, the Cleveland Browns will select cornerback from Florida State, Asante Samuel Jr. Yeah! They needed an extra corner, and this dude is a complete corner, one of the best corner in this draft. I'm talking about he could play man-on-man, he could play inside, he could play outside. He's feisty. He's a replica of Denzel Ward. Let's go dog pound. Woo, 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 woo.
Guru. Oh man, I love that right there. And I love the pick even more because this is what the Browns need to focus on. Getting more help in the secondary. And let's get that ball back to Baker Mayfield.
That was hilarious. I mean, how can you not like the pick? He cheered for it. He did the dog pound thing. He barked a little bit. That was awesome. Asante Samuel Jr. obviously, has it in his bloodlines. And I agree with you, Tony. This is where the Browns need to focus their efforts in the draft. They got to solidify that secondary.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense that you would want to, you already have the running game. Let's shore up the defense. Let's make it happen. We're picking up the fifth-year option on Baker, the playmaker. Browns are going to the Super Bowl. You heard it here, first if you don't live in Cleveland.
Oh, you heard it here first. That's right. A lot of Cleveland love from Tony right here. That was Guru. G to the U to the R to the U. This guy breaks down tape and shows you everything you need to know about players. Find him on YouTube or Instagram. Guru's Film Room. Guru's Film Room. Find him out. Yeah, great energy. I loved it when he started barking. Like, who brings that kind of energy? And it's awesome. Look at Brian still laughing about it.
That was awesome. That was just awesome. It was, man, that's what we need from Roger Goodell. Take some notes, man.
Yes, and I have two Cleveland Brown fans in my life, and they were the happiest since I've known them, because I've known them through the down years. Well, I don't know when their up years were, but I've known them and they've been terrible. But it was so nice to engage with them during last year's NFL season. People are probably confused. They're like, why is he saying all these nice things with a Big Ben jersey behind him? What is that?
You've got a Big Ben jersey and a Jets Favre jersey. That's throwing people off like crazy.
Yes.
Where's that Mason Rudolph jersey at? Come on.
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing that would be more confusing if you had a Mason Rudolph jersey and a Myles Garrett jersey back there behind you.
I want a Mason Rudolph helmet. That's what I want.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gabby Hurlbut from the Boston Balling Podcast. You can check that out on any podcast streaming platform, YouTube, or social media, covering all Boston sports. Hope you enjoy it. I am here to announce that with the 27th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select wide receiver Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. This could be a really good addition for an offense that typically does a lot of running and is run heavy, so it'll contribute to their passing game for sure.
Okay, I want to give a great shout out to Gabby. We just met virtually here on whatever, but she went and picked a wide receiver that Lamar Jackson deserves. Not like my friend Brian Bolster here, who last week went and picked him one of the Moors, the shorter Moore, the lesser Moore in that draft, and I was upset. You need to get him a guy that can see over the steering wheel. We need a guy that can go get the ball for Lamar Jackson to complement the best running back in the NFL.
Come on, man. Speed kills. Speed kills. That's Rondale Moore. And like I said before, he can stretch the field horizontally. When you burn people, that gets you pretty open. Now, I like Rashad Bateman, though. Here's the pick. Again, I think it's an aggressive move, but they just traded Orlando Brown Jr. We got a whole lot of juniors coming through, the seconds coming through. But Orlando Brown Jr. traded to the Chiefs, so do not be surprised at all if they go offensive tackle right here. I would imagine that they're going to early in the draft.
Yeah, when I saw that trade today, I was like, oh, yeah, this means they have plans. They, like there's a definite move, and I don't necessarily know that it's at wide receiver in the first round because it's a pretty deep wide receiver draft. Like there's so many good wide receivers that we haven't, that we're even like at the end of our mock draft before that I don't know where they are because we got guys like Kadarius moving up and going to the Tennessee Titans at 22, which I'm sure PFF can't wait to sink their teeth into.
And that's a great pick by Gabby Hurlbut. She is actually going to be our guest on the next Welcome to the Warzone. Check that out next week with her. We sit down with her. She's from the Boston Ballin' podcast. Find her on Twitter, Instagram. Great girl. She was listed as one of the top females to watch in sports reporting coming up. So check her out, guys. Great stuff. She's always interacting on Twitter, always doing her thing. And she is a guest on Welcome to the Warzone next week with Mike and I.
Love it. Picking the Minnesota Golden Gopher to go there and help prove to the world that Lamar Jackson can drop dimes anywhere.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Adam Lewis here, host of the What Off Season Sports Podcast. Could not be more excited about this Warzone Sports Network live mock draft on YouTube. Hope you guys are tuned in. You already know I'm representing the Saints. Who Dat Nation, baby. Major Saints fan over here. With the 28th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Terrace Marshall Jr., wide receiver, LSU. Going to be a great pick for the Saints. Having Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook get out of town, they're going to need someone besides Michael Thomas because this has been a team that struggled a little bit outside of the wide receiver one. Him coming in from LSU with that pedigree, going to be great for either Winston or Hill.
Big fan of Adam at What Off Season. And a bigger fan of this pick because, just like he said, when you're bringing in Jameis Winston, we're going to need 2 targets, right? I know we had the eye surgery, but maybe he's still seeing double of everything. Who knows what went on with his little stigmatism, but if he can figure it out, maybe he lives up. Maybe he's not a bust anymore as the former number 1 pick. And you get him some weapons. And they're already pretty good on defense and everywhere else. What do you think about this one?
I think they need secondary help. But with Asante Samuel Jr. just going, that makes it a little bit tougher. Again, I'm going to throw Holland out just one more time because I do think they need to address the secondary. They also need to address their defensive front, particularly. They lost Trey Hendrickson, so I think they need to make a move there. This is a luxury pick to be able to take a receiver, but I do think it's a bit of a swing for the fences. There's high upside with Terrace Marshall Jr., who is a big, strong athlete that also has the speed. I believe he ran like a 4.36 at his pro day, which all his pro day 40s, I don't know if I can believe them because every receiver ran a 4.4 or better. Like I don't think one receiver ran a 4.6, and we know that happens all the time. I don't think we even had a quarterback run worse than a 4.6, at least out of these top 5 guys. So I don't know about the pro day numbers, but he's definitely a big, strong athlete. Swing for the fences here for the New Orleans Saints.
Are they using laser technology yet for the 40, or are they still having old guys who can barely get into a squatty position going, all right, because their hands, who knows? Maybe they can only hit 4.43 or 4.3, whatever it is.
I don't
have a mark on the face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. The God's with the king about it. You're just the same. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I said, can I be a legend? Search your soul and answer me this question. Do you think I have what it takes to be great, but still be humble and learn from my mistakes? Shit.
Kellen Moore and Kyle Trask are still on the board. No, hear me out. what if we actually drafted another quarterback, right? Right? No. Yeah, whatever. But the 29th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers actually select Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
So much going on right there. For a second, I was like, Lay's coming on. I almost threw my computer on the floor. And then I will say this. I love the joke, the referencing to them drafting another quarterback that'll just sit behind even Jordan Love. Like, let's draft him some company because Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere. Like, let's draft him a buddy to hang out with. Because unless they decide to, Brady him out of the league, he'll be there for a minute.
Well, have you seen the rumors about Jordan Love? Then them being in the Packers room, and they saw that paper that said Jordan Love being traded to the Patriots and all this stuff. So maybe they trade him and they go, "Hey, we'll draft another quarterback." But I'm just joking around. Let me go back real quick. The last pick was made by Adam Lewis with the What Offseason podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. He also does a lot of work with Petty Sports on YouTube. Check him out. The guy who just made this pick, the Green Bay Packer pick, and I thought he did a great job because I love Davis, and I think he's going to be a great linebacker, is Justin Marvell from This Justin. Find him on Instagram and YouTube as well. He goes live every Monday night on YouTube and every Thursday night on Instagram. Always great shows, and the Thursday night shows on Instagram, very interactive. So guys, go find them on there.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to that pick as well. There's a lot of production value that went into that when I was getting chills at the opening intro. And then I like the pick as well. A really athletic linebacker, another guy who had a pro day, ran a 4.41, just absolutely insane. And I Justin's a Packers fan here, and I think he's one of the more reasonable Packers fans out there. He knows they need to focus on the defense. Don't get caught up in, we need another receiver. We need another receiver. And I think this is the right pick. Although it would be really fun if they did make the Rondale Moore pick here.
No, it would be good. And then, because we always talk about the weapons thing for Aaron Rodgers, right? And I honestly believe he does have enough weapons. Bob Tunyon's going to be good. And I think one of Lazard or MVS will be a fine number 2 to Adams. Right. And all the running backs and whatever. I don't know if they're going to go weapon. I would say you can get defense or offensive line. So I like the pick, but I would like to compliment Justin on doing one of those good, hand switchy things. A lot of people do that. And I'm just looking at their crusty palm. His was really fluid. I enjoyed it.
No crusty palm.
No,
he gets the check palm of approval.
Yes. This is good.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Superback, Sean Sierra from Sean and Maya in the Morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm here to announce the 30th pick of the NFL Draft. With the 30th pick, the Buffalo Bills select running back Travis Etienne out of Clemson. Over his 4-year career at Clemson, Travis amassed over 6,100 total yards and 78 touchdowns. What a pick. Pair him with Devin Singleton. It's a nice 1-2 punch. Now listen, you can follow me and my show on Sports Zone Chicago on Facebook and Instagram at Sports Zone Chicago. And on Twitter, you can follow us at Sports Zone Chi. That's CHI. Now, you can also download our app. Wherever you get your apps from, just type in Sports Zone Chicago, download the app, and take us with you on the go. We have 5 live shows and a ton of podcasts.
I really love this pick, but it's just not going to happen, right? I would love to see Josh Allen with a good running game too. And maybe that's Brian, you might be able to help me out with this a little bit better. I don't know how bad their offensive line is in Buffalo, but what's why can't, if you got a weapon like Josh Allen back there, why is Josh Allen the best running back on the team?
Justin cracking me up. I guess he stays prepared with his lotion. No crusty palms. No crusty palms on the This Just In show. But the problem with the Buffalo Bills running game, sure, they don't have elite running backs, but it is that offensive line who they do have a strength in pass blocking, but as far as rush block, they don't get much push at all. Etienne, I'm not a big fan of the pick. I think he's a good scheme fit, but he doesn't bring anything new. He's just a better version of Devin Singletary, in my opinion. And so he's a great receiving back. He brings some speed, but I think they have bigger issues. I think if they're serious about making their Super Bowl run, they need to go defense with this pick. And I would attack on the defensive line. They need to get a better pass rush and then address the offensive line later and go running back just really late. I don't like it. I feel like this is a reach. I think if they make this pick, they have too much confidence in the rest of their roster.
Yeah, you're right. But defense. Go ahead, Joe. No, you got it.
See that a lot of people have come out and said this is one of the worst drafts for defensive tackles, defensive linemen, not edge rushers, but like defensive tackle, defensive line, actual guys on the line. They're saying that you won't see a guy go first round. You won't see one. So if Buffalo's sitting here and that's really what they want, they got to trade back, but we're not letting trades in this one. But they're saying this is the worst defensive tackle class that you could see in the next couple this year. So I don't know what you're crying for. Go for the need, get your running back, get that playmaker that they need. Because what were we shouting last year? Last year we were shouting, Buffalo needs running back. Buffalo needs a running back. Go get a running back, Buffalo. And then they finally get one, and you're mad, Brian. Now you're like, nah, I don't like this pick. I don't like this pick. They got a running back. They got a need. They don't need that.
I wasn't the one yelling they need to go get a running back. That's why, hey, I may have been the only one, but I don't think that they need a running back that bad, or definitely not in the first round. That defense was not that good. Josh Norman, they were playing Josh Norman at corner. That's an issue. Derrick Henry made him a highlight forever. They have other issues. They can't go back into the season. I mean, I agree with you. They can't go back into this season just throwing the ball 25 out of their first 26 plays. Like, they literally did that this season. Just adding Travis Etienne, I feel like is a little short-sighted.
Yeah, no, I get it. The defense does need some work. I like Moss, too. That's the other running back there. What is it, Zach Moss?
He's going to be good if he's healthy. He's going to be good.
I think if he's healthy, he's good. So you're probably right. I don't know.
I'm never going to agree with Brian. I thought it was a great pick. Sean Sierra, Sean Sierra, Sports Zone Chicago, co-host of Sean and Maya in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live and the Sports Zone Chicago app. Go check him out. I've been on that show many times. Mike on the mic has been on that show. Great show. And we're going to try to hook Tony Tucker on to going on that show.
Oh, yes, sir. Let's do it, Mr. Sean Sierra.
Hi, Rebecca here from Gridiron Rush, and I am here to select the 31st overall pick in the 2021 NFL Mock Draft. The Baltimore Ravens select Taven Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State.
Second pick. Second pick right there for the Baltimore Ravens in the first round. Did you guys see that? Updated. Just made the trade this morning, and the mock draft is already set up for it.
That is really slick. When I saw this, I was like, on the fly, they were like, hey, we got news. Let's fold this in. When they do like these little the Emmys or whatever, they give out awards for shows and stuff like this. This episode better be in the producing Hall of Fame for independent sports shows. No questions asked. As for the pick, it makes perfect sense, especially when they got a wide receiver who's tall enough to ride this ride in the last round, and now they get an offensive line. Bolster, quit giggling. What's going on?
What's your deal with short people, man?
I'm not very tall either. I know nobody can ever see me, but I'm like 5'10". So like I talk like I'm some giant. I'm not that tall.
Oh, man. It's a good pick, though. They got to replace Orlando Brown Jr. This is a smart pick. I don't think it's a reach at all. There's several tackles that could go here. I know Joe loves Walker Little, who I think has a lot of upside out of Stanford. He was, I believe, the #1 tackle in his high school graduating class in the nation. So I definitely think Walker Little is somebody to keep an eye on here at this position. But I think if you're a Ravens fan, you're happy. You got your receiver that they've been wanting forever since Hollywood Brown didn't pan out, and you get your tackle. So I think in both respects, they're really helping out Lamar Jackson right now.
Walker Little, Vegas
That's right.
Ranger. Let's
Make that push. Hashtag Walker Little first round. Let's get him in there. Get him in that first round. Brian, I'm glad you're jumping on board with Walker Little.
I think he said you liked him. I don't think he said he liked him. He said, I know Joe likes him.
I don't care. He mentioned them, and that's all I need. All I need is a twist of words just a little bit, and I'm there.
Is this like an ironic name for Walker Little? Because I don't think he's come up. Maybe Joe drafted him in with pick number 4 in our first mock draft, but I don't think I've heard of him in a few minutes.
If Darren Waller would have said Walker Little, you guys would have all been on him. You guys would have all been on him, just like you guys have been already. Let me tell you who made that pick. Rebecca made that pick from the Gridiron Rush 19 on Instagram. She knows everything there is to know about college football. She writes for Sports Told by a Girl, Undrafted Network, gridironrush.com. Go check her out if you guys are into college football and everything like that. She is right on top of it.
Love it. I had something to say, but I completely forgot what it was.
But I shut you down. That's what I do. I apologize, Tony. It's my bad. But we're right there. We're right here to the end. We're so...
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. Step into the war zone. Step into the war zone. Step into the war.
What a show! We started off with the #1 overall pick with Ian Rappaport showing up on the Warzone Sports Network. And now we're closing it with the most electrifying sports YouTuber in the game today. What's up, y'all? It's Mike on the mic. Who's picking at 32? None other than the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they're bringing the boys back. Well, they're bringing the boys back and a few more. Because with the 32nd overall pick in the 2021 Warzone mock draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. Look, I know he's more built like a safety than a linebacker. Then come on over and win a Super Bowl playing safety. He's gonna play some safety. He's gonna play some linebacker. The Buccaneers might send him off of the edge from time to time. Freak of nature, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Welcome to the back-to-back Super Bowl champion roster.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see what Tom Brady said? He said Joe sucks. This was right there. Tom Brady knows who I am. He knows who I am, guys.
I actually, Joe, would join you in that happiness. If Tom Brady came out and was like, Tony Tucker blows, I'd be like, I'm good with that. It'd be like it'd be the tag and like everything.
Yeah. Tom Brady once told me I sucked. Yes. That's just, you're gonna put it on a bumper sticker and slap it on your car. Everything.
Absolutely. While Mike was making this pick, I realized that if you re-sign all 22 of your starters, you should have to forfeit your pick to like whatever team was 1-16 the year before. Like, can't we do something like, does Tom Brady really need Owusu? Do the Bucs need Owusu? They don't. He would just be more vicious assaults from that defense.
Yeah, he's a good fit. That brings more speed to that defense, and that's what they prioritize more than anything. And Mike's right. He's not going to take the place of Devin White or Levante David. He's going to be that hybrid role where they can get him in there at safety. They can really play him like a box safety because he is pretty light for a linebacker, if we're being honest, but he makes up with it in speed. I think this is a good pick. Again, we talked about him, I think, at pick 19. So to get him at 32 is definitely, I think, a lot of value. He could potentially slide a little bit just because he is seen as a bit of a project. But here at 32, this is kind of a case of the rich getting richer, in my opinion. Although Rondale Moore would kind of be nice. It would be nice to hear people complain that the Bucs, they get another receiver But man, Rondale Moore, Scotty Miller, whew, that's some speed.
They need no more in Tampa. I don't want any of the Moore brothers. The reason that I don't like this pick is because it would be the perfect place for him to go and make that transition. And by like year 2 or 3, he'd be a monster. And then we'd all like thank Tom Brady for the rest of his life. Remember when Tom Brady afforded him the ability to turn into the new Sean Taylor down in Tampa Bay? Tom Brady would just get credit for something else. Tired of it. Welcome into the Tom Brady hate hour. So that was all 32 picks right there. Joe, Mike, I would like to congratulate you guys on putting together something that was absolutely, without question, the best mock draft that I've seen, watched anywhere. I'm talking about the production and everything that went into it. I am not talking about some of the picks that were made by Bolster or Skirdo or Joe Morley. Some of those were just straight up trash, like my man Brian Bolster likes to say. Straight up trash. Okay, but for the most part, everybody was fantastic. All these guests, shout out to them. I'm not going to try and name all 32 people. I can barely remember where I put my pen. So I just would like to thank you. I'm sure you'll get personal handwritten email notes from Joseph Morley and Mike on the mic. Brian, thank you for joining me. You got any shout outs you want to give?
I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody interacting in the chat. That was awesome. Appreciate the guys that I know close, Jay the Plug, Justin Marvel, Adam. It's awesome that they showed up. They were a part of this. The Pace League, obviously, you got to check that out. And then Sports Force. You got to check out Sports Force on YouTube, Warzone Sports Network. It's the best show out there. And just as a reminder, I am undefeated in Madden 99 Blitz against Joe Skirdo.
Bringing it up. Why don't you let the guy have a chance? Make him play with the Jets.
What a great mock draft. A lot of work went into this. Thank you. You guys haven't seen him. We brought him in for just a few seconds. Mike on the mic, working the back screen of this, doing everything for us. Great stuff. A lot of work went into it. A lot of hours. So I got to appreciate, thank my family and all them, everybody that was doing this. Tony Tucker, Brian coming in here doing it. I hope we surprised you with a lot of these guys. Ian Rappaport, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. Matt Okada, Alex Robson, everybody. I'm not going to go through the list because there's 32, but it's amazing. And I just want to end it with one thing. Can we end it the way that because I think this pick is the one that got everybody, right? This is the one that got you hyped if you saw it because, yeah, Ian Rappaport is Ian Rappaport. He knocked off the show. But this is the one. Can we end it here with this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, no, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is indeed me, the one, the only, the coach, one of the voices in Madden. So if anybody knows the NFL and the XFL, it would be me. But today, right here, right now, it's all about the draft. And with the 9th overall pick, the Denver Broncos select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.